What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode 17 of Eonin's Edge. Small but fierce. That's right. Today's review is on the Civivi Baby Banter. So this little knife uses a Nitro V blade steel. It's a flat grind with a usable cutting length edge of 1.9 inches. It is 2 5/8 to the pivot, and it has an overall length from tip to tail of 5 3/8. The weight on this little knife is an amazing 2.04 ounces, feathery light, and it is a manually open knife by use of a thumb stud. It uses textured G10 scales, and is riding on ceramic ball bearings. The designer of this knife was Ben Peterson, W-I-U-G. What is up, guys? So let's jump into what I like about this knife, and there's quite a bit. The ergonomics of the knife, first of all, are excellent. You can get all 4 of your fingers on there with a little extra room, so even if you have a slightly larger hand above large glove size, which is what I wear, you'll still be able to get a good purchase on this knife. And the jimping in the 3 spots is well placed and perfectly executed. There's jimping here on your forward finger choil, so you're never going to feel like your finger's going to slip off of there. There's some jimping right up here on top of the blade where your 2 main fingers are going to go, and then there's also some jimping there on the liner lock of the knife right there. So all of that combines for a really nice, solid hand feel. There are no hot spots on this knife at all. It just feels perfectly ergonomical and perfectly comfortable in your hand. The liner lock engagement, like I said, is solid. The fit and finish on the knife is really good. It snaps right open. The detent's really good. This knife closes really, really well. So all of that stuff, A+. I love that they actually countersunk the pocket screws on this knife. As you can see, nice texturing here on the G10. They got these screws countersunk, and this pocket clip is reversible for lefties or righties. Nice finished standoffs in the back. Ample space for a lanyard, if you're a lanyard fan. I also love that they full stone washed or ceramic washed all the metal on the knife. The blade, the liner lock, the clip, all that stuff has been stone washed. It's a really nice durable finish that lasts a long time. The blue anodized thumb stud is a nice little touch just to kind of add a little pop of color to the knife. That's awesome too. So function-wise, this Nitro V steel has held up really, really well. It came razor sharp out of the box from Civivi. I have not had to sharpen this knife. I've not had any issues with edge retention or sharpness in the month and a half that I've been carrying and using this knife. And here's the thing I think is really cool about this knife. Closed, when you look at this knife, you're like, wow, that is a pretty tiny little knife, right? It's not even barely as wide as my fingers here. But as soon as you click this knife open, you're like, oh, okay. And you put your hand on it, and you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So real quick, I'm going to give you a couple of size comparisons just so you can see what this knife looks like next to some other knives that are considered micro or small, compact, whatever terminology you want to use. So here, I'm going to put the Kaiser Lieb down, pivot to pivot next to it. This is one of my favorite small pocket knives, gentleman's carry knife. But when you look at these two, you'll notice that the size is almost identical. They're almost the same length, and the blade length's a little bit more cutting surface on the Lieb. But here's the thing with the Lieb. Because it doesn't have that finger choil and jimping, you have to hold it here, which means if you're lucky, you can get 3 fingers just barely on the back of this knife. Now again, I'm a huge fan of this knife. This Kaiser Lieb is one of my favorite knives. I put this in my pocket a lot. It's super, super sharp, and it does a great job. But again, it's not a knife that you could really kind of get good pressure on when you're using it. This is a gentleman's carry pocket knife. Whereas when you look at the Banter, with this steel combination and these ergonomics and design, you can really do some real work with this knife. And that's one of the things I love about it. It's small, but like I said, it is a fierce little knife. Let's show you real quick a Benchmade mini Griptilian, which is a pretty small knife, quite a bit bigger. And then we'll show you a Kershaw Leek, which is, again, not a very big knife either. Both of those pretty much a lot more substantial in size than this little baby Banter. A couple other cool things about this knife. You get the Civivi carrying case. It comes with the typical paperwork, warranty paperwork, microfiber cleaning cloth, and not only that, but besides getting a regular Civivi sticker, which I believe is the Elementum, you get a baby Banter sticker, which is really cool. But I love that Civivi gives you a case for storage for all of their knives. This is a great thing to get along with a knife always. So honestly, there's nothing about this knife that I don't like. I don't have any, I wish they had done this or I wish they had done that. The knife really is a small but fierce knife. It's great for a lot of little projects. It fits effortlessly into a fifth pocket on a pair of jeans or work pants. You could put it in an alternate pocket. You could, throw it in a backpack, whatever. You're not even going to notice, just barely over 2 ounces, what this knife weighs. It's not going to affect your gear load or anything like that for hiking or outdoor use. So there's really no reason not to keep a knife like this in your pocket if you're going outside adventuring or you're just looking for a rugged little knife that has great ergonomics. Like I said, Ben Peterson designed, I feel like, just about the perfect knife in this size class. It comes in so many other colors too. So the baby Banter you can get in bright blue. You can get it in dark red. You can get it in olive green, purple, and then they also make a black on black version that has the black G10 and all the steel on it is a black wash blacked out with a black pivot and clip. So that's another option. And here's the thing. At $59, this knife is a bargain with this steel and this design and ergonomics. I like this knife so much that I plan on buying a second one in the very, very near future because I just feel like, wow, I could put this knife anywhere. I could stick this in the console of my truck, throw it in a backpack for hiking, whatever. It would be an excellent knife for any of those purposes and more. So that's what I got, folks. This, again, is this Civivi Baby Banter. It's around $59, and this is a small but fierce little knife. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. As always, if you liked it, I'd ask that you hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you're not already. Leave me a comment about the knife or questions. I always love getting those. Thanks again, as always, for watching, and stay sharp, folks.